But language teacher starting salary is like 35,000, I feel,
35, right?
you know, and
Mhm.
that too with no experience if you are B1 or B2 certified. Hi Shagun, this is Parth here, and I'm running French and New Language School. I'm C1.1 level certified from Alliance Française de Chandigarh, and I'm DELF B2 certified. I cleared my DELF B2 in 2022, and now I'm doing C1.1 level. I'm doing the higher level from Alliance Française de Chandigarh. Okay, can you tell me a bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hi, Parth. My name is Shagun. I reside in Delhi with my parents. Last year, in the month of December, I gave my B2 and I have cleared it as well. The last year, in the month of January, I took this resolution that yes, I want to clear this level at any cost because I have already taken 2 years gap. After my B1, I was not having enough confidence that yes, I want to go for this level. This level is killing me, the vocab, the expressions, and the writing formats. But gradually, my parents, my friends, they motivated me, and I cleared my goal. Right now, I am in touch with the language. I keep on practicing, and I am working as a full-time teacher as well.
Really great. That's really great, Shagun. And congratulations on your B2 level, right? And one thing that, I like one question that I get from most of the people, from most of the students that I'm teaching also, and the people who are on the YouTube, they sometimes I get the comment that I'm not feeling very motivated now. After A1 or A2 level, people like start feeling the pressure of that grammar,
Hmm.
like those tenses that we have, passé composé, subjonctif, imparfait, to I mean all the things there, and people are mostly like stuck in the grammar, and then they start losing that confidence and that motivation to continue with the language. So what kept you motivated, so that that really helped you clear your DELF B2 exam?
My motivation was my mother, actually. I was in 11th. I
Mm-hmm.
had zero plans in learning the language. I just cleared my boards, and my mother wanted me to learn a language. It was just a boon in the market that learning an extra knowledge, having some extra, skills and more creative knowledge of the extra value things will add up to your CV, and it will help you to gain good knowledge, and it will give a good exposure, etc. So my mother wanted me to learn the language, but I was not in this favor, and I thought, okay, let me give me a shot. I booked 2 or 3 tutors for the demo classes, and among those I got one tutor, and I enjoyed. I mean, the first session was, of course, it is always light vocabulary related to fruits. That was the first topic she taught me, and the alphabets. And she made me clear that French language is just like English. It's not that difficult. 26 alphabets in English, 26 alphabets in French. It will be at par, and this there will be a little difference in the pronunciation. That's all. I was like, okay, that is not so much difficult for to me, and I will definitely do it as well as along with my studies. After 2 or 3 months, when I actually got into the present conjugations and the numbers, they were a little messy for me because I was not able to construct the full sentence, subject, then the verb, then the
Right.
article, and then the object. So I used to paste sticky notes on the objects so that whenever I'm walking in my room, I could see, let's say, armoire, mirror, almira, tableau, etc., so that I am looking at it and I'm constructing a sentence at the moment or inside my head.
Hmm.
But yes, dedication and the consistency, they were the two things for me which kept me on the go. I I'm just like a normal person. I also lost interest in the middle. I was also demotivated. this is not my cup of tea. I am not able to go through the language. I gave my A1. I did not score a lot in A1
Mhm.
if I compare.
Yeah.
People score in 90s. My
Hmm.
score wasn't just 69 or 70. It was like my tutor, she did not teach me well, or where was I lagging, etc. But it was just, I don't want to stop. I have the knowledge. Let me go for A2. Let me see what wonders I can do. And I used to just read the articles, etc. And my motivation, if I'll say, my motivation just was I have to go through the language. I want to just prove myself because I knew the sentences in my mind. I knew the words in my mind. Maybe somehow I was not able to frame those in front of the examiner at that time.
Mhm.
I couldn't go in the past, and I cannot change the sentences,
Right.
whatever I made it. But in the A2, I did it very well. That pushed me, okay, why not for the next level now? And here I am. After B2, I'm talking. And still, I'm going to think for C1. Let's see.
That's really great. So one thing that I would, that I would really appreciate, you mentioned that you pasted the stickers on the objects.
Mhm.
I think that will be really great for the people who are at the beginning level, who are at
Yes.
A1 or A2 level, because in the initial stages, we find a lot of struggle while to memorize the vocabulary, like to keep the vocabulary in our mind. I remember when I was in A1 A2 level, I prepared like the whole like 500 600 words of vocabulary list on Excel, like noting the gender of a particular word, noting whether the word is a noun, whether it's an adjective, or with a meaning and with the sentence of with that particular word, so I did this practice for 5 to 6 months, and now I don't even know where that Excel sheet is, to be honest. No,
Okay.
and like I found it in my hard drive, a few months back, and then I used to now share it with my students whom I'm teaching, because I think it wasn't very beneficial for me, but maybe it will be beneficial when
For
I'm
them.
teaching to my students. So but I felt that this practice that you did, like pasting the sticky notes, or just like naming the objects near to us, so it will really help, I think, because we will be looking at them on a regular basis, and we'll be able to like memorize the vocabulary in a better way. In fact, I give these kind of type of tips to my students also, like in school as I teach. So I like timely I do this kind of activity, that students have to run all over the place in their house. Maybe if I'm doing house vocabulary with the students, so then they have to go everywhere in the house, paste those sticky notes and everything. After 2 3 days, then you can take it off, when you will like
That's
when the vocabulary will stick in the mind for
that's very
few.
interesting. Yes, it could
So
also be done.
yeah. And now another thing, Shagun, I wanted to know, like how has been your journey as a French teacher so far?
My journey is peaceful, actually.
Okay.
It was not hard for me
Mm-hmm.
because I did not um, I did not have to learn anything new to teach. I already had a good command, an expanded knowledge. And for the beginners and for the kids, we just require the basics.
Right.
So, and the type of questions they used to put, they were they were just easy for me to answer. So I did not feel that, oh, I might be in the wrong profession, or I am not able to get the answers or whatnot. Might be when I am being encountered with someone who has extra knowledge than me, then in those cases, yes, it must not be an easy thing for me. But over the 4 years, 4.55 years, it is just going peaceful. Yes, sometimes the children must be a little, what do we say? Um, the questions are quite tricky, like why the gender is this in English, why the this is this. And sometimes being as a French teacher, I even don't have the answer to that. Because
Correct.
I have also learned in the same way.
Hmm.
The gender is this. Why the word is exception, even though it is ending with E.
Hmm.
I'm so sorry, my dear, but this is an exception. You have to learn it. You have to just rote learn it. The way I did. In those cases, I feel powerless. No, oh, I cannot even explain.
Correct.
I have learned, but मैंने भी नहीं पूछा. Like why? So there were some instances like this. Otherwise,
Hmm.
it is just great.
So I'll share one instance like this when I was teaching in grade 8 class. A student of mine, asked me, "Sir, what do we say drugs in French?" So I was like, wow, I never asked this to my teachers. You know,
Yes.
I mean, so sometimes we end up being as teachers we end up being in this, in this tricky situation.
Clueless, exactly. And
And
they
then I
expect,
went back home and then actually searched. I
they
told,
expect,
okay, just give me
yes,
1 day's time. I'll just search and I'll get back to you in the next
I'll get
class.
back to you.
You know, so some of these words really, like, uh, are really, like very tricky to answer at that on the spot. You
On
know,
the spot, right?
yeah. So I can totally understand your situation. But what do you think as a French teacher? I feel one thing, Shagun, that in India specifically, you know, teachers are required to do B.Ed and or complete some certifications from CBSC, or there are some different trainings that are organized for teachers to take jobs in schools or universities, isn't it? But for the foreign language, I feel that they don't ask any such thing, right? We just
Right.
need an advanced diploma, B1, either
Hmm.
B1 or either B2 level, if I'm not wrong, like
Yes, yes.
B1 or B2. And then there is no other, validation that we need.
Yes.
So I feel if we talk about that side, like being a teacher, in, I mean, of French language, I think it's way easier than compared to other subjects. What do you think?
The language we have to learn
Mm-hmm.
um, separately.
Hmm.
The other subjects we are studying
Right.
since we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
English, Hindi, maths, basic numbers, counting.
Hmm.
Okay, let's forget about EVS for the basic
Hmm.
kid, like for the kids till fourth grade. I don't think so. If I wanted to be, if I wanted to become a teacher, my favorite subject used to be environmental studies.
Hmm.
Okay, and if I wanted to become that teacher, I had to buy a book of CTET and I had to go through the same content till the grade 10. It would not be that difficult for me
Hmm.
because I am already used to the subject. But if I want to go for the studies for the language only, for the French
Hmm.
language,
Hmm.
additional language, it is a task. It is actually a task.
No, I mean,
I am not even,
I totally agree. Like you are saying, you are taking like language, you are considering language learning plus being a teacher. You are considering that whole journey.
but French as a subject also,
Yeah.
if I compare, I
Mm-hmm.
have also faced such criticism in my job.
Okay.
Like, for you, BEd is not required. How? We have cleared the two levels of like the different exams of CTET paper 1, paper 2. What about you? No. I answered that in my language, in my subject, it's not required. But how come this is not required? Then I have to elaborate. Then we have different levels. We
Hmm.
have to go through those levels. And in those levels, everything is there. But yes, how to teach?
Hmm.
For those, I guess nowadays the courses are popping up, just like Flow,
Absolutely. So we have,
right?
I
So,
mean,
hmm,
NCT Francais is actually, like promoting a lot of teachers
yes,
training programs nowadays. So we
yes,
will be talking about those also. But yeah, anyways, I can totally understand, like in jobs, I have not faced, such criticism that you're talking about. I know that teachers really do talk about, the teachers of other subject, they talk about, that how come we are not required to do B.Eds and all. But apart from that, I feel that I mean, we have a different challenge, like teaching language and staying up to the level, and like finding out easier ways to explain a particular grammar concept, and handling these tricky situations where we ourselves don't know a particular word or any particular, like we mentioned in a few minutes back, like the the tricky questions of the students, that to answer on the spot, it gets sometimes difficult, because it's a foreign language for us as well. So but my like what I wanted to convey is that, like, being a teacher, I mean, or like, the process of being a teacher is a bit easier with the foreign language, because we don't have those restrictions like as a B.Ed or a M.Ed, or like those kind of trainings of being a teacher in India is not required for us. And also I feel that as a foreign language teachers we are still paid better, you know
Hmm. Okay.
uh, in the like initial, when we start our professional journey as a French teacher. So we are paid still better
Better.
nowadays,
No,
because I have
no
seen
doubt.
a lot of teachers, a lot of faculties in my school itself. Like I have taught in, like, I mean, different schools. I have seen, I have a lot of connections. I have a lot of connection with the French teachers in Gurgaon, and then Gurgaon is like filled with, like, international schools, and
Hmm.
like like very rich infrastructure wale schools. So I have seen that, like teachers who of mathematics, of like physical education, science, Hindi, English, like schools are hiring those teachers with a starting salary of like 25,000, maximum. If some school
Maximum
is really really, very rich, they will offer 30,000 max. But language teachers starting salary is like 35,000, I feel,
35, right?
you know and
Mm-hmm.
that too with no experience. If you are B1 or B2 certified, like interview will also be very chill, because uh, the management of the schools, or
They
they
don't
also,
even
they don't even,
know how, well, what is to be asked, of course.
exactly,
So,
especially the foreign language teacher.
hmm,
Feel that, like recently I'll tell you an incident that happened, like day before yesterday, like yesterday, not the day before yesterday, in fact. Yesterday it was a boards exam, grade
11.
10 exam of
Grade
like
10
third
French.
language exam, French exam. And I was put on duty with grade 12 students, because grade 12 students were having business studies. So they can, because being a French language teacher, they cannot put me on duty with grade 10 students only. So I
Yes.
was giving a duty with grade 12 students in business studies. One or two students of grade 10, they had a doubt in French language. Now, no one else was there in the school who could have taken that doubt of the French language. The another teacher who was there with me, she was not there due to some reason. So I was the only one on duty in the school yesterday, and the examination department just approached me, and they were like telling that, sir, please take their doubts. They are having any doubt, and it was not a like, students were thinking that it's the wrong question, but it was not. So I just clarified that. So I felt that yes, language, as a language teacher, we are important. It's not like,
Important.
it's not that, they can find, the schools can find any replacement very easily for us, you know.
Yes, I
So
know people. I also think that there are many learners. There are n number of learners,
yeah,
the French learners, but when it comes to the actual teaching part, it is not easy for everyone.